All right, welcome back to A&T time. We have T
A.
and we're going to go right into the last podcast, and we're pretty much going to point fingers at A and say that she has no idea what she's talking about when it regards to what reindeer eat. If you are unfamiliar with what I'm talking about, please refer back to the podcast about traditions and kind of fast forward near maybe the 3/4 of the way in, and you can hear her tell all sorts of lies. The lies. I want everyone to know how many lies she tells. She was trying to argue the fact that deer can eat carrots, and instead, because she's, like I said, not a zoologist, she pretty much tries to murder deer with the diet.
They said don't feed reindeer carrots because their body has a hard time digesting them.
Yes.
Give them mushrooms, moss, oats, and apparently a zookeeper used to give them gingerbread cookies, so I was right on the cookie part.
You do understand that there's probably children that have reindeer on their farm, and they've probably tried to feed it carrots because of you and probably killed them.
No.
And now they're going to sue us for everything they have.
I have seen reindeers eat carrots before, so obviously the person feeding them the carrots wasn't educated either.
There's so many questions that I have here, but I don't think there's enough time. Let's start with the first one right away. Why are you standing around watching people feed reindeer carrots?
Because they were at a zoo thing my dad took us to one time. They had an actual reindeer.
I'm staring into her eyes, not really believing anything she says.
No,
Anyways,
it really was there.
We're all done with this. The point is, don't listen to anything A has to say about your pets and feeding them. Let's just move forward from that. Do you agree?
That's harsh. No, I do not agree.
I
believe I was misinformed on that one because I believed my 8-year-old, then at the time 8-year-old daughter. But I think maybe she confused them with another animal.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Or she got it from a Disney movie. I don't know.
All right. Well, now that we've put that to rest. All right.
They don't eat rice either, so I was right on that part.
They don't eat rice either?
They don't eat rice.
Well, and it must be the squirrels taking all of it off my ex's family's porch. Well, that's fantastic. That was also in the Traditions podcast. If you're still listening at this point, I'm proud of you and surprised. All right. So moving into tonight's subject, we are talking about Christmas gifts because we are in the holiday season. Not limited to Christmas gifts, we can call them the new 2020 holiday gifts or Hanukkah gifts or whatever kind of gifts you're giving. It could be birthday gifts if you're a poor sap that has your birthday this close to Christmas.
That always sucks.
That's a terrible thing, and I feel bad for you. I'm spoiled rotten with the summer birthday, so I get it. I get it at different times. But anyways, so let's start with your favorite gifts from when you were young. First gifts sticks right out to you. Go.
So I got a blue Nintendo 64 and I got Ocarina of Time.
It's a Zelda game in case younger people don't know.
I wanted it so bad and I didn't think I was going to get it that year because my mom was all going on about how she didn't have a lot of money and stuff like that. So I didn't think I was going to get it. And the only thing she could afford to get is she got my brother his PlayStation. And then she got me the blue Nintendo 64 and she got us each one game. Because that's all she could afford. And I actually remember she sat there and cried about it because she felt bad because we only got 2 presents for Christmas. But it was like one of my favorite Christmases ever.
But those 2 presents were probably much more expensive than getting 100 little ones.
Yeah, and it was my favorite. My second favorite was and no judgment, my parents got me all the Spice Girl dolls. And
There's no judgment. There's no judgment when it comes to that stuff.
That was a defeat right there. They probably, I think, had to fight somebody over the Ginger Spice doll. And they got me all the original first 5 dolls.
Listen, you have already said that your dad bounces around his ex-wife's house in a bunny costume at Easter.
He's a good dad.
Right, there's no limits to what this guy is going to do. So I'm not surprised in the least.
I think he probably jumped an old lady for Ginger Spice. That's all I'm saying.
Not seriously. We got to make sure we not literally.
No, but there was a waiting in line process, and it was a whole huge thing.
If you have a parent that's willing to jump on old people, please let us know about it because it actually interests me more than it probably should. Okay, so Nintendo 64, Zelda. That's a pretty sweet setup.
Mm-hmm.
I have actually, it wasn't my number one thing that stuck out, but it was a very good present for me, which is kind of funny because I got the Donkey Kong edition of the N64. And I got the game. It was a whole pack. It was a banana yellow console.
Ew.
Oh, it was wild. It was wildly ugly, but it was so cool because it came with the Donkey Kong game.
Oh, okay.
And I remember that I would play this. I played it like the entire day. It just pissed off the entire family because the minute they knew as soon as I hooked the thing up, I was going to be gone. Mm-hmm. And sure enough, I was. And the only way they could get me away from it was to feed me. And then I turn around and run back in. And but before you had mentioned that, we the thing that really got me the most, I think, is that my mother had purchased and I know this is dating. I don't even know if people know what this is, but it was an Aoya like hi-fi system. It was like an old, I don't know how to explain it, because if they're younger, if they're like under 30, under 25, you're probably not going to know what this is. But basically, instead of having a phone and an MP3 player, you had a standalone music player that used to hold cassette tapes on the bottom, and they would have like a CD on the top or a CD changer. And I remember this was like 3 CDs, and it was really cool. It had a lit up display on the front that would, with an equalizer bouncing to the music. And I loved that thing. And that was probably the coolest. I burned it out. I literally burned this thing out. Okay. But nowadays, it's very hard to find kids something unique because all the kids have the same crap. Mm-hmm. So they all have Nintendo Switches. They all have Xboxes. They all have PlayStations. All this electronic stuff. So what can you get your kids that's not something that plugs into the wall that you think they'd remember?
Well, I have daughters, so for me, it's dolls. Some dolls are hard to get. So my youngest one is into Monster High, and the Monster High dolls are actually kind of hard to get. I collected them when I was younger and got her into it, and then she started collecting them, and you sometimes are paying $90 for a doll. I don't pay that, but some of the dolls go for $90.
And this is a Monster High doll?
Yeah, because they only make so many. So certain characters, they make a lot of the like main characters, but the more secondary characters are the rarer dolls, and they're hard to come across. Even when I was collecting them, I remember one time my dad paid $50 for a doll for me that I wanted. I wanted the Abby.
How tall are these dolls? Like, how big are these?
They're just a regular like Barbie doll, but they look like monsters.
Like 1.5 feet tall? I mean, like, what are you thinking?
Like that.
Yeah, that's probably 1.5 feet.
Yeah. They're just like regular dolls, but they're wicked expensive.
And when were these made? I don't even know what this is.
So they started coming out with them, I don't know, I want to say 10 years ago or more.
Okay.
Because it's when the girls were little.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So how many of these dolls exist? Like different ones, I mean, obviously.
Probably maybe 30 to 40.
Holy cow. They're 30 to 40 and they're anywhere between $50 and $100 a piece?
Some of them, yeah.
So you'd be spending...
Well, so they stopped making them. So Monster High was big when the girls were little. They stopped making them. Then Nickelodeon recently redid the Monster High show because they have all these Monster High movies, which are cartoons. They're really good. And then they turned around and now they have a live action, which is terrible, according to my daughter, because she watched it. But they're remaking the dolls now. They're coming out with newer versions of the dolls, but they're still even expensive because it's such a rare thing and it's popular now.
Right, but that's kind of what I'm getting at. So you're saying that there's 30 to 40 dolls. So let's say that 30 dolls at $100 max. Let's say you're $3,000. You're $2,000 in the hole for 30 dolls. Okay, that's now as a collector that might be worth something. But if you're just going to pull them out of the package and kick the crap out of these. I put them out of the
package and then I let the girls play with them. That's where I screwed up.
I see, but people don't know that. It's I'm trying to think of something comparable that.
Like the Hess trucks.
That's exactly what I was thinking of. The Hess trucks, yes. So, anything that's pulled out of the box tends to drop value. Me, I actually had 2 police cars. One that was in the box and one that was without. I wonder where they went anyways.
I had my brother for the longest time. He was getting the Hess stuff and they would buy him one that would stay in the box, and then one that wouldn't stay in the box.
He could play with.
One that he could play with, and one that he could collect. I don't know what ended up happening with them all, because he did have them when he went into the military, but I think his ex-wife sold them all when she got mad at him.
Anyways, don't let your ex-wives have crap.
Yeah.
There's
but he
lesson.
had a bunch of them, because he would get them every year, because remember, every year they would do different ones, and they ended up becoming collector editions. Like,
oh, sure.
Because they only made so many.
Yeah, they were a limited run every time. And I remember you used to get them. You could buy them at gas stations, but they didn't have to be Hess gas stations. Because Hess was more of a gas station south.
Oh, we only ever got them at Hess.
Okay, see, and there weren't any Hesses up north, but they still made them available to purchase. So I think they made some sort of deal.
I think my mom drove to Syracuse to get them.
But yeah, so Hess trucks, Monster High, limited edition, things like that.
Barbie comes out with the holiday doll that's usually a limited edition. For when I was young, it was the Disney dolls. So every year they would come out with a Disney princess or a villain that was a collector edition that was like anywhere from $50 to $75.
All right, so actually, that's a good point.
I had the Belle one.
Right, but is it a gift? If the gift for the kids that they would remember, that was the original direction we went going into this.
Well, it's hard because nowadays kids just want electronics.
Well, right, but I'm saying in order to retain this thought, right? Because kids, I mean, yes, I guess it's kind of like us when we liked our N64s, right? Now, I remember when we got our original Nintendo and we had an Atari, right? And yeah, I mean, it was very cool, but you remember you want them to enjoy and remember other parts of Christmas outside of, hey, I got this game that was a digital download. You don't even touch it. It's just, it's
kind of impersonal nowadays too, because that's the thing too, is like, so for me, now that I have teenagers, a lot of times the stuff that they want is like stuff that is already on, like, my one daughter, she's always asking for downloadable content, so she has nothing to open.
Well, yeah,
she has a little card that she puts.
And you don't even have to do that. You don't even have to do that. You can literally force push that stuff, which I can get sidetracked on, but that's not the topic of the thing tonight. But basically, yes, it's very impersonal, and I'd be interested to see if anybody out there has a specific toy. I don't even know if I'd limit it to toys, because Christmas is given to people of all ages. And I'd really want to know what else is out there. You're laughing at me.
No,
I feel like you're laughing at me. Yeah, Yeah, sure.
No, I really did yawn.
Are you laughing at my impersonal mocking of electronics?
No.
I don't really care. I mean, yes, it's nice to get them, but
I remember when my mom got me the Alanis Morissette CD one year. So she bought me a CD player, and she bought me the Alanis Morissette CD. And
now hold on, we got to back up and give some context. Is this a portable, like, Discman, or is this a standalone
unit? No, it was
unit?
like a huge thing.
Okay.
Because I love to sit down in my room and sing and sing and sing. So I remember she got me 3 CDs with this CD player, this huge stereo system. And so I put in the Alanis Morissette. Now, I had no idea who this person was. So I'm jamming away to it. And if anybody knows Alanis Morissette, she's a little vulgar in her song. And, of course, I'm singing along.
Oh, no. I was just thinking Melissa Etheridge, not Alanis Morissette.
And she's got that one song, and she's, like, talking about, and I hope you think of me when you F her. And next thing I know...
Oh, isn't it ironic? Yes! Okay.
Or no,
yes.
I don't think it's
no, I know.
It's ought to know.
But it's that, but it's that artist.
Yes.
Right, okay.
So next thing I know, I hear my mom or somebody running down the stairs. They were really loud. I'm just jamming away. And I didn't even notice that she swore in the song, because I don't know none of the words to the song. So I'm just listening to it to learn it. And she comes in and starts yelling at me. And she was like, "Where did you get that?" I'm like, "Get what?" And she's like, "Turn that off right now. Where did you get that?" And I'm like,
"Now, is this the
where
album?
Did I get what?"
The album
It was the album. So I paused it. And she was like, I was like, it's the CD you got me. She was, I need to confiscate that right now. Now, the most messed up part is, so she took this CD from me. She gave me a Celine Dion CD in replacement for it that she got from somebody for Christmas. But then I would get in the car with her, and she would blast every song in that car and be like, come on, Amber, sing along. And I'm like, you took my Christmas present away from me because it had swear words in it, but you're playing it with me in the car with swear words.
Well, hold on. Wait a minute. Hang on. I'm trying to figure it out right here. Is this what it is? Wait.
It's ought to know.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
To know.
She gets vulgar in this?
Happy for you.
Yes.
Okay, I'm literally going to play this for a minute. I want to hear it.
Nothing but the best for you both. I know the version of me is she perverted like me.
Oh, I guess I never really paid attention to it. We're only going to go through the first lyric.
And this is the part. Oh, no, that's not the part.
I don't know. I'm waiting for it.
It's gotta have to be the next verse.
No! I'm waiting. I want to hear this vulgar Christmas gift that you got.
It's gotta be the next verse.
Oh my god, I do remember this. See, now this is something you'll remember as a kid. Maybe the gift of music. I don't know!
Things look peaceful. I'm not quite as well. I thought you should know.
It's in this part here.
Is it?
Did you forget about me, Mr. Duplicity? I hate to bug you in the middle of dinner. There was a slap in the face. How quickly I was replaced. And I am thinking of me when you fuck her.
Oh my goodness! Oh my god, Alanis. You better just calm down there. Okay.
Yeah.
So we know, alright, so if you want to get your kids fucked up, just let them listen to Alanis Morissette. They won't even know what to do with it.
That's actually the worst song on the whole album. The rest of them are a lot more PG than that.
Yeah.
Apparently, she wrote that about the guy from, what is it? Family Matters? Or is it Family Matters? What was the one with the twins, the Olsen twins?
Family Matters.
Is it Family Matters? Because I thought Family Matters was the one with Steve Urkel.
Oh, wait a minute. I think you might be right. Full House.
Full House.
Full House. Yeah.
So the comedian, Joey,
Yeah.
she dated him, and that song is about him.
We are learning so much. We were starting with gifts for children that they remember, and somehow we got onto Full House and listening. See, this is the beauty of podcasts. You never know where the hell our conversations are going to go. Okay, so I'm writing this all down on a birthday napkin to try and keep track of where we're at.
Peppa Pig.
Is this Peppa? It is Peppa Pig.
It's Peppa Pig.
Okay, so we've covered Alanis Morissette. We're going to steer us back on course because I feel like that's my job here as a Mike Master. I'm going to call myself the Mike Master. It's going to stick, I promise you.
Mike Master T.
Mike Master T. Let's talk back. I kind of enjoy that topic, which we'll make a separate podcast about, probably a bunch of them on music-related stuff. Yeah, we definitely got time for this. So if you're thinking about giving kids, that's a great idea about having music, right? But music is another thing that you cannot touch, right? Mm-hmm. Nowadays, you don't have discs. You're not using cassettes. There's no 8-track players anymore.
And if they have a cell phone, they can listen to music on their phone. So there's no point.
You can't.
Kids are very good at finding ways to listen to music for free.
Right. Well, I mean, you can go on YouTube and play it right now. I mean, you can get any song you want. I mean, that was I was just using Amazon Music through my cell phone to pull up Alanis Morissette. You have access to any of this stuff now. Apple Music, whatever you have.
Like my children like to just download music off of my phone when we would be in the car, we would all take turns
Right,
picking a song. So
right. So I guess the question is, how would you get around that too? See, everything.
Well, if your kid is interested in music, you could always get them a musical instrument. You could always do music lessons. Like, it doesn't have to be a toy. Some parents, I have a cousin personally myself, that she doesn't get her children toys. She doesn't do that. She pays for experiences for them. So it's like she always has her kids doing something different. Horseback riding. She had one kid, he wanted to learn how to ski. So that's what she did. She paid for skiing lessons for him. That was his Christmas present. She'll get him a toy or two for the little ones. But once they hit a certain age, she just pays for stuff for them to learn to do that they have an interest in.
Right. So, I agree. And I think that you're spot on about letting the kids have the experience. What I was getting at is that you can't go out. I mean, you still can, but it's hard, except for being a novelty item and going to your local old record store and getting something for them that most likely isn't even playable, unless you have the equipment for it.
Yeah.
It's more of a nostalgic thing. Whereas in our generation, we would be, I don't know, I remember they were talking about how our age group would be like the elder millennial, but we're still kind of in the Generation X
kind of follow the generational crap.
The only reason I know is because of a comedy special, which is completely unrelated. But the point is that we're at that age group because you have to, the people that are listening most likely have a better idea than I do. But we're at that age group where equipment and music on an actual, physical copy was actually pretty cool to unwrap as a gift. So the very first CD I ever got was Sheryl Crow, because that was the kind of life I lived. Sheryl Crow.
I got Boyz II Men.
Is your first?
Mariah Carey. Alanis Morissette.
Wow, pretty much standard white girl equipment.
Which got traded for Celine Dion. But
oh my God, now you're going to basic white
But
bitch.
for my birthday that year, I got money and I was so excited because I went out and bought my first Backstreet Boys CD.
You're not helping your case at all, right?
And I was so in love with AJ McLean.
Yeah, so in the age of Napster and LimeWire, well, it was Napster first, but in the days of Napster, when that first came out and everybody was on phone
How many burned CDs did you have?
Oh, you have no idea. There's still.
Did you have like a booklet?
Yeah. Oh yeah. My God. And then I was buying cars even before I had licenses, and the cars had those those books packed with burned CDs.
Oh my God, I would do different music to what I got.
Yeah.
Like I would have if I was in a really boppy mood, I would have that album, and then if I was in an R&B mood, I would have 4 or 5 CDs of that. So I would have R&B mix 1, R&B mix 2, R&B mix 3, and then I would try to cram and write every little song on the little thing that came into the thing. Yeah, it was bad.
But that's the thing. So now kids have no way of experiencing that physical gift of just getting not even mainstream, but you just can't get music that way. It's all downloaded or it's all streamed. I do like your idea of the experiences. Learning an instrument is obviously great. I really wished I would have learned something.
I wanted to learn the guitar. I've always wanted a guitar.
My fingers are too. I tried it. Yeah. They're very. I mean, I could probably do a bass now, but
No, I've always wanted a guitar.
I've got the rhythm apparently that I could do percussion instruments, but I just.
Really?
I never really stuck to it. But anyways, so moving past music, we got a little bit here, but so we were talking about, these are exactly what I'm talking about though. The electronics of N64s, you're talking about the Barbie dolls and, I know. So something that you can still get to this day, which I'm surprised at, is you can still get Thomas the Tank Engine stuff. So I used to be, when I was little, my entire world when I was little was Thomas the Tank Engine. And I had all of them. And I don't know if you've ever seen the collection that I've acquired through family and friends and everything.
But I've heard about it.
It's massive, okay? You can still, to this day, buy the same kind of stuff, but it's, as you know, as time rolls on, things always get cheaper. They don't ever seem to be better quality. So mine were all, hand painted steel. And
Well, that's how they used to make the tractors. The toy tractors used to be hand
like
painted
Tonka
steel.
trucks.
Yes.
Tonka trucks.
And now they're plastic, because I had a 716 International, and it was probably like this big.
Yeah. It's like she's talking about 1.5 foot.
Yeah.
Almost 2 feet probably by.
Yeah, it was nice, solid, because it was my favorite tractor, so my dad got it for me.
Yeah.
And you probably could sell that tractor for like $400 or $500 now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
in the days of the old, depending on the age of whoever's listening, the old Tonka trucks were all steel. You'd really hurt yourself out there. There was no safeties. There was very little plastic. It was all cutting your hand. And
oh my God, I remember Cabbage Patch dolls used to smell like baby powder.
Oh, Cabbage Patch Kids.
Oh my God.
What about Care Bears?
Yeah.
Cabbage.
But I had Cabbage Patch dolls. So I had one. I wanted one so bad because my cousin had a collection of them. So my dad got me a little boy one with because they had yarn for hair, and he had like little orangish, reddish hair. And I named him Bubba because I watched the show In the Heat of the Night. And my favorite character on it.
Wait, were you watching the show while you were in the heat of the night? Or were you watching the show titled?
No, it's a very good show. It's titled In the Heat of the Night. People should watch it. It's a very good show. It's down in the South, like I think in Mississippi or something like that. It's about this white chief, and then he has like a black lieutenant that works underneath him and stuff like that. And it was in the 80s. It was really good. But they have this big white guy on it named Bubba. And Bubba was my favorite character.
Bubba. Well,
so I named my Cabbage Patch doll after him.
Cabbage Patch Kids, Care Bears. My
Little Pony.
Was that a thing then? Because I know it's a thing now.
Yes, it was a thing then. It came back as a thing again, but they do not make the My Little Ponies like they used to.
Sorry, I'm making a note here.
They don't make Hot Wheels.
Hot Meals. I love Hot Meals. No, Hot Wheels cars. That was a big one.
Mm-hmm. Those used to be metal too, and now they're plastic. Oh, we're moving to a bigger sheet of paper.
We have to move to a bigger sheet of paper. The Peppa Pig napkin's just not cutting it.
He also likes to draw diagrams of things.
Don't judge me. It's how I get rid of things.
He's got an engineer mind.
Oh, it's terrible. All right, so we got probably 5-6 more minutes here. Mm-hmm. So Cabbage Patch Kids. Now I'm pointing across the room right now at the solid steel tow truck over there. Okay, that was a brand of Nylint, which I don't even know if they make anymore. I don't think they make a Nylint truck. Now that back in the day, that's probably maybe just over 1 foot long. It's probably 6 inches tall. It's a model of a Ford 9000 chassis, and it's pretty much an exact replica of a tow truck back in the day. And that truck right now, probably sitting on the shelf, is $150. And that back in the day was maybe a $30-$40 truck. Mm-hmm. That's what's crazy about it. You can't find them like that at all. So Cabbage Patch Kids, I don't know if you can buy those anymore.
No, they're non-existent. You can't get them anymore.
How about Sesame Street?
No, you can still get Elmo stuff.
Oh, that's right. Elmo went through a big thing.
They remade the Tickle Me Elmo not that recently.
That's so weird.
What kills me though is they still do the
they're gonna have a Bill Cosby edition of that.
The American Girl dolls. They still do those, but a lot of people have chose to go with the My Life dolls because they're cheaper.
I don't know what we're talking about.
American Girl dolls are like $115 a doll.
And how many of those are there out there?
I think there's like 8 or 9 dolls.
8 or 9 dolls.
They're different characters.
Right.
But you can get them at any time. They mass produce them. The thing is who's going to spend $115 on a doll for their kid to play with?
My family. Because my sister had or something like this. She used to have, I think, all of them.
I never had one. My mom would not pay that for a doll.
Are you missing out? Do you feel like this is something you need in your life?
No, I'm glad I don't have one. I'm an adult now. Listen.
Well, that's debatable. All right.
I can't say anything. I used to collect celebrity Barbie dolls, and I hid them in a tote when I got my first boyfriend. And I would pull them out after he left and arrange them on my computer stand. I had Xena the Warrior Princess. I had Gabriella. I had Callisto because I was that much of a Xena fan. I had a Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and then I had a Brandy doll.
And these were all gifts because we're staying on the topic of gifts.
I had a Christina Aguilera. I had a couple different Britney Spears dolls. I had her with short hair and long hair. Yeah, I said a Brandy doll. Who else did I have? I don't know. I had a couple different celebrities.
This is so eye-opening. I had no idea.
I was very innocent.
Yeah, okay. Well, the Backstreet Boys music we were talking about earlier, that's pretty much standard. I want it that way.
Oh my god. Such a good song.
Okay. I knew where I wanted to go and now I lost it.
Oh my god. I
got distracted by your Xena story.
Oh my god. I used to run through the house doing the Xena cry.
And how was that? While I'm thinking of this, feel free to do the Xena cry.
I can do it anymore.
You can't? No?
I was like, I'm not even kidding. My mom hated it.
We need to get some sponsors, some TV show sponsors of this. Okay, actually, I'm going to put that over here. Because,
I loved Lucy Lawless.
Okay, so, all right. So we were talking about how you had the Xena stuff, which is TV things, right? Gifts. So it's considered controversial now. I don't think it is at all. But then again, I'm very hard in my ways. Dukes of Hazzard stuff. I used to have a Dukes of Hazzard generally. The Dodge Charger with the Confederate flag on the roof. Love it. Still love it to this day. You know, people always find things to bitch about. They sensitive. They got rid of it all. Now it's coming back again. You used to be able to buy that and give it to your kids. That was a toy, but the problem is now you give it to a young kid and then some older adult who's
sensitive,
woke, if you may, or I may, whatever you want to call it. They say, well, that's not a great present to give somebody. Oh, a classic car with a paint job really bothers you, huh? But, physical, like models of cars, dolls, things like that are pretty cool. What about...
Well, I mean, think about the fact that they made Barbies chubby now.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's an all size...
Barbies have all different body builds now. They're tall, they're short, they're
Now,
chunky.
That's actually something that I do agree with. I always think that even though the Barbies were always these hourglass, tall, blondes that I personally have always gone for my entire life. So, I mean, I guess I can't blame them for that. But, I don't know, as a young kid, you don't think about these things.
I had a pregnant one.
Excuse me?
I had a pregnant Barbie.
I thought they didn't make Barbie dolls outside of the...
they did. So I had a pregnant Barbie.
Right.
That her belly came off and the baby popped out. Imagine my confusion when I learned that's not how babies really come into the world. Because I had this Barbie and she had a pregnant belly and the little baby you could put in the belly. And then the belly came off. And the baby came off.
I have nothing to add to this. Nothing. I have nothing to add to this. I feel like I should. You gave me a wide opening to give you more. I got nothing. I've never even heard of it. I don't know if that would be something that I would want to give. Are you looking it up now?
I'm going to see if I can find it.
So, all right. So we've got about 2 more minutes here. I'm sure we went over our time a bit. But how about board and card games? Is that a thing anymore? Do kids play card and board games? No. Now, my kids, I try to get them into card games like Uno. But getting them into a board game is very, very difficult.
They don't have the attention span nowadays.
Well, it's because there's multiple reasons why that's the case. But I don't know if there's any other physical gifts that are really... It's not that they're not suitable for Christmas. It's just, what do you get kids that... they'll remember that is not a digital download. I mean, if you can think of something, by all means, let us know. Drop it in the comments. It's something that, I mean, obviously I'm not coming up with it right now. Or you're pretty hard to work on your phone here. Let me see. We are looking at A's cell phone, and there's an actual picture of a Barbie doll that's pregnant with a pop-out. There's a pop-out fetus in this.
Mm-hmm.
Well, all right.
You've seen everything,
yeah.
all right?
Well, now, I want to just let you know that if you're interested in purchasing this doll, we are looking at it on, what is that, eBay? I think it was eBay. No, Amazon. I'm sorry. It was Amazon for $229. That's how much they wanted for
I
it.
should have kept that doll.
You could have made some money.
Mine was a blonde, though. She didn't have brown hair.
No. But, all right. Well, that's pretty much all the time we have for today. If you have any ideas on topics you want to hear us discuss, by all means, let us know and drop those in the comments as well. Any ideas or cool things for gifts, like I said earlier, I would love to hear them. And I think the final thing I'm going to discuss real quick is that if anybody has a different idea for a tangible gift or something that you can actually hold that's not an electronic, that would be great. I'd love to see a list and maybe even discuss those things further. So have a wonderful evening. I think we're out of here.
Yeah, see, I had the one with the hole in the belly.
Oh my God, this is the world I live in.